The foreign beta was made for the sole purpose of entertainment. Most of the jokes towards the users are just for fun and come without any ill intent. The individuals shown are very likely on the autism spectrum, so please, and I'm only warning you once, do not go out of your way to harass these people and make any derogatory comments toward them. If I see any of you pull that you will be blocked from interacting with my channel. So please, have some fun, but don't be a complete asshole. Thank you. Also, sorry for some of the audible glitches, my mic has gone bad, which is not fair because I literally just bought this.
Don't cry, little logo kid. Uncle YouTube's got enough slop to feed you your entire life. Algorithm, bring over the stolen content ASAP. The boy is hungry.
I've been on the internet for as long as I can remember, and while I would say I think I've seen everything it has to offer, there is obviously millions of other crazy shit going on around here that I don't know about, and that's basically how massive this wild experiment has become. There is so much to find that reading off a list of such would likely take decades. While there's the obvious stuff like historical information, the news, schoolwork, and
privacy, baby.
There's also the brain rotting side of things, which is 90% of the web. We're such a normal society. And in celebration of this place we all call home, I would like to introduce a new sub-series to this channel called
Terminally Online Reviews,
where we look into the weirdest and sometimes dumbest motherfuckers on the internet and either generally criticize them or make fun of them. Or both. And for this first episode of TOR, I want to look into a group of individuals that I've been interested in for literally my entire internet life, so much so that I used to be part of them. Let me give you a little anime recap first. I was introduced to the internet at... I can't remember what age, but I was surely in kindergarten. My parents were so caring of me back then. And it was where I not only looked at the SpongeBob wiki instead of doing my homework, but I also discovered a little place called YouTube. And it was there where I not only grew a love for video making, which would be the last 11 years of my life, but I also grew a love for logos. You know, those creative little bumpers that appear after the credits of a movie or show when you open up a game to remind you who made what you're looking at, sometimes by scarring you for life. Not only would I end up watching lots and lots of logo videos on the site, but I also made these logo pals back in elementary school that were essentially traced and put in a packet, which I unfortunately do not have anymore. And my aunt also got me a logo board game for Christmas, which I still do have surprisingly. Now, you might think that it's a very niche thing to be hyperfixated on, and you're right. I mean, logos? They're cool and all, but what kind of person would center their entire personality around them? A lot, apparently. This is the logo community. They go by many other names, including my personal favorite, Pure Unfiltered Autism. Don't worry, I'm on the higher end spectrum so I can say it. But for the sake of me not having a lisping fit every time I utter the phrase logo community, we're just gonna call them to what they're most commonly referred to as Logo Kids. Now, I know what you're thinking. Mediachi, what the f*** are you talking about? Also, are you doing this now because your latest videos haven't been performing well? First of all, you are so goddamn lucky. Secondly, how dare you throw baseless accusations at me? And thirdly, there is not much of an introduction necessarily needed. Logo kids, as their name implies, are children, well, mostly children, who are obsessed with logos. At least, that's the easy definition. Let me tell you guys, in all my years exploring the web, this has got to be one of, if not, the strangest rabbit holes I've ever seen. And I've seen Pooh's adventures. So instead of explaining this all straightforwardly, I would like to drag you all down the spiral of nonsense and probably experience a case of brain damage along the way. Nah, I'm kidding, I wouldn't give you brain damage. Well, unless you want me to. Alright, no more showboating. Here we go! Now, I would like to start by detailing what the average Logo Kid channel contains, just to give you an idea on how one can be spotted. I'm not gonna use real usernames as examples for obvious reasons, but based on what I've gathered over looking these people up for years, they'll commonly identify themselves with a name like SpongeBob Pocoyo 2005, Dora Yes Caillou No 2003, Daniel Anti-UTTP Loves Paw Patrol 2004, Jesus, I'm having a stroke. As for the content itself, considering this is the logo community we're talking about, there's obviously gonna be logo stuff. Either it be plain uploads of a logo, wait a minute, a custom logo made in Blender or with VipBid. Remember VipBid? That was fun. Or logo edits, which takes so much blood, sweat, and tears to make. It's a lot of work. Here, I'll show you. very infamous part of the logo community is the obsession with scary logos. Your first thought might be, how the hell can you make a logo scary? Well, it's easy. This traumatized a generation of children, and most of them aren't even from Russia. I mean, the only time this aired in the United States was months before the Soviet Union collapsed. I think Daniel T. Gaming already put it better than I could, but there are a multitude of reasons why someone could find a logo scary. Though most commonly, it's either because of how a logo looks visually, like Jesus, have you seen that one Viacom logo? Or watching it intertwined with someone's fear of the dark. And both of those I can completely understand. I mean, that one Boomerang bumper where Yogi shakes his butt and turns to the camera always freaked me out as a child. And I remember one time I hid under my covers when I came on at night in my parents' bed. I'll admit that I still sleep with my TV on because I just really fucking hate the dark. Oh, and I'd be remiss if I didn't bring up that splat face thing that appeared at the end of almost every Rugrats episode. You know, this thing has been so goddamn popular in the logo community that Klasky Csupo themselves gave it a name, and its own miniseries with Splat, as they call him, is voiced by Beast Boy of all people. It's not a very good web series, but it's so intriguing to me.
One's Hungarian and the other's Polish. Together they sound Hungolish.
However, as I alluded to earlier, logo videos are not the only symptom of a logo kid. As I've noticed with these users, they tend to use YouTube, or even DeviantArt, oh shit, as a Twitter or Tumblr-like blog site. But as we know of autistic people, many of them often communicate differently, so instead of just posting complete sentences describing their day, they use their special interests to do so. And this is where the unfiltered autism part comes in, because boy, they just feel too comfortable posting whatever they want. Which segues into the second layer of this iceberg, reaction videos. And I don't mean your plate reacts, your blasphemous HD, or your X2C. I mean reaction videos where someone just takes a random clip from any of their special interests, put a title with my reaction as it fills out the rest, and call it a video. I say this as I proceed to have a mental breakdown because there is so fucking much. Alright, let me prove my point. Let me look up my reaction that. Look at this. Look at all of this. This is exactly what I mean. There is way too much to this. Oh my god. My reaction that user I'm as is on atrocious YouTubers wiki, horrible Beyonders wiki in a nutshell. That's a title. I wonder if it has anything interesting to say on the topic. Yeah, I think I've seen enough. My reaction that I'm going back to school tomorrow / go animate switching from Flash to HTML5. My reaction if Joey's channel gets terminated. What do you mean? Is Joey committing war crimes? My reaction that PBS Kids Sprout Channel is becoming Universal Kids on September 9th, 2017. My reaction that Gravity Falls ended on February 12th, 2016. My reaction to that guy with the VHS got terminated. My reaction that the True Disney King 5th Productions got terminated. My reaction that Michael Fan 2013 got terminated. My reaction that Green Pen UTTP celebrated the end of Blue Sky Studios. Yeah, I mean, like, if somebody celebrates an animation studio going bankrupt, then them, but why fuel them with the attention? Disowned. My reaction that Baby Mario Brothers got terminated on YouTube. My reaction Arthur got cancelled. My reaction that The Amazing World of Gumball got cancelled yesterday. My reaction that I accidentally left the gas stove on, and as I hear the hiss of the fumes, I'm succumbed into a big loud burst of flames. As everyone that I've ever loved and the home that I've lived my whole life in vanishes in front of my eyes, and after I see my whole life flash in front of me from the day I was born, to my first steps, to my first words, and to my first day of school. Now I am surrounded by nothing but a dark void of emptiness. I cannot move. I cannot breathe. I can't even think. I have devolved into nothing. Hold on, this is really funny. Is Dalton Chan really cute? No! No! Well, according to this guy, no. Dalton Chan is too girly. But you and I are not friends anymore because you couldn't stop disrespecting opinions. Oh my god, and right out in the open as well. They also post these clips where the intent is to imagine a good user having good things happen to them, while a bad user has, well, bad things happen to them, or sometimes a combination of both. Basically the playground equivalent of death threats. Same applies to free like and dislike videos, which are just peak interaction bait. guess karma came from years earlier. 3 like fair, world girl gets grounded. Oh, what's wrong, 335? The world girl whoa. I don't know how much this is gonna add, but I feel like I should bring this up. A few things I noticed watching these videos is that A, these users are hooked onto shows or movies made for children, or ones that have characters with cute, simplistic, and friendly designs. You know how Five Nights at Freddy's got popular with children because of the way the animatronics look, which kickstarted the mascot horror genre that has now basically become content farm fuel? Well, you'll find something like that within this community. Now, it might sound like a no-brainer considering they are called Logo Kids, but again, that's a given name because it just flows better. Yeah, I forgot to mention that many people in this community are grown adults. Some are older than me. I'm not insulting them for this, obviously. I'm hitting 21 and I still have an impulse to buy Care Bears on the Switch. But, I don't know, I just find the idea that there are a bunch of men probably in their 30s for real bullying a fictional child for some made-up reason kinda funny to me. I mean, it could always be worse. They could be from the Disney Channel fandom. Though I will say where it does start to get concerning is that B, they have a really weird obsession with characters crying. Well, I'm just gonna say for what it is, it's a fetish. It's a clear-cut fetish. Logo Kids post crying clips a lot, and I mean a lot. So much so that's actually kinda terrifying. They're commonly like, haha, they deserve to feel sad emotion when it's a character they hate, but they also frequently post crying clips of characters they do like, so... Bonafide fetish shit. Why so common with Logo Kids? I don't fucking know. And look, I'm not a kink shamer. Fetishes are a natural part of life. We all have some very weird kinks, and I don't entirely judge people on them unless it's some actually heinous, disgusting garbage. And while crying's obviously not gross in any way, who the f would get off to this? Note to self. Keep them as far away from Wade Ripple and Sabo as possible. Even if it's not a fetish, do these Logo Kids just go to the supermarket, see a baby crying, and be like, oh boy, that would make a great Class EQ BFDI major edit? I mean, maybe I'm exaggerating, right? Yeah, no, I'm pretty sure some of you saw a flash on screen. This is real. Someone actually put clips of real children into a playlist called Cartoon Crying Compilation. Like, oh my god, what the f***? I'm sorry, I might be looking too deep into this, but this is so rubbing me the wrong way. Anyway, back on topic. While it doesn't look like these users have sexual interest in it, the amount of crying clips posted by them is concerning. And I honestly shudder to think about what goes on behind the screen.
Oh, that's good.
Also, there's a real term for this. It's called dociphilia. Why does that sound? I would go into DeviantArt, but I feel like that's a whole nother beast. What you know about rolling down in the deep? When your brain goes numb, you can call that mental freeze. When these people talk too much, put that all in slow motion, yeah. I feel like an astronaut in the... Okay, so far what has been shown comes from very small creators, many of them even lower than my sub count, so I like to play fair by shedding light on 2 very recognizable names within the Logo community. You guys are gonna want to sit down for this part. You clearly have not seen the best indie animation has to offer. David Madsen is responsible for the channel Dave Madsen, which is best known for its Logo bloopers series, most commonly the Looney Tunes intro. Okay, seriously? But there are also PBS bloopers, Screen Gems bloopers, CBS bloopers, ABC bloopers, and My Life bloopers, featuring a scene of my first pullover by Kyle. The gist of every episode is that these Speakonia characters, Microsoft Sam, Mike, Mary, Anna, and a fuckload of other characters that we'll get to in a bit, trying to get the logo right, but this stupid dumbass named Scotty keeps fucking everything up, either because he hates his job or he's just so incompetent, I don't know why. Now, if it was just that, I wouldn't be talking about the series and at most be comparing it to that one British guy who had this ability to talk to logos.
Don't be so hard on yourself, sir. I think you're a brilliant director. If you ask me, you're the best name in the media business.
Thanks for the compliment, Virgin.
But it's not just that. The best way I can describe it is that it's, ironically, like a Looney Tunes cartoon made in MS Paint. The most infamous gag is when a character is either insulted or doesn't have things go their way, they throw some sort of temper tantrum over it. I'm not kidding when I say that every tantrum scene is like, okay, you gotta stay calm, it's no big deal, you gotta control yourself. Uh-oh, I'm about to get angry, my tantrum's coming on now, here I go!
Oh man, please don't be
Repeat for over 800 episodes. Or 1,000. This dude lost his channel multiple times, yet still manages to come back. How impressive. By the way, a part of the dialogue is ripped straight from Family Guy. Just thought I'd mention that.
No, damn, crap,
damn it to hell.
Other gags include Sky getting fired, but then he comes back because he can't be replaced. A scary logo shows up and attacks one of the crew members. I swear to God, I'm not making shit up with these next few. Anna has laser eyes she uses to defeat any antagonists. The devil and his wife show up just to shout all over the cast and are defeated when God shows up. Jesus, what even is this series? Apparently, Logo Bloopers is not the only series featuring this cast. They also do Funny Signs, Madison Lane, a former series called Adventures of Sam and Friends, Dave Mad Sports. Speaking of which, hey Brad Holmes, can you explain why you waited 6 rounds to draft an edge runner? Guess I'm not mad since I heard Ahmed's pretty good. I guess if you don't want to sit through the logo whoopsie nonsense but still want to see the characters, then these spin-offs might be your best bet. The Microsoft characters aren't the only ones though, funny enough. There are way too many to count, but the most notable ones are Dave's self-insert that at one point was just a real-life image of himself, Dr. Phil as a beaver, Jesus Christ, Shadow the Hedgehog is in some episodes, he's everywhere, man. Plankton? Okay, as much as I don't condone using AI voices of real people, this is just way too funny out of context not to share.
Hey, wait a minute! I'm not stroking anymore!
They even include some actual YouTubers. 2 of them were promptly fired days apart. One of them couldn't keep it in their pants, and the other... Oh god, I don't think I can even say it for the sake of staying on YouTube, but don't look up what Luna Fanashika did. I'm not even joking, it's really that bad. And honestly, they're probably the only controversies this channel ever faced. The other so-called controversies had just been some childish preschool-esque back and forth that I can't really take seriously. I guess I will say that I do have respect for Dave for keeping this series of videos going for over a decade now, and he's pretty much begun to embrace that what he's doing is essentially just all a shitpost, and yeah, huge props to him for that. Especially considering he might be somewhere in his 20s by now.
This man's 61 years old, what the fuck?
No shade, I just find that interesting. Alright, moving on to the next one. Greenie Farm is a Canadian animated British co-produced animated series created by Robert Staten. It first premiered on CTN on August 13, 1995, and eventually premiered on Columbia TriStar Kids on March 16, 2002, and is syndicated on USA Network and a few NBC... Wait. That doesn't sound right. Yeah, this dude for some reason made up facts about the show to make it look like some sort of real 90s cartoon for... kids?
Uh-oh. Again.
He also stole someone's picture and claimed it was him, but looking at his channel, it's obviously far from the truth. Okay, but for realsies, Greenie Farm is a 2008 MS Paint web series created by Robert Staten, which follows Little Guy, the king of 1-2-3 Greenie Fathom, and all these other characters he doesn't really like. I mean, he's just kind of an asshole for no reason, even towards people that are just minding their own business.
Have you been dragging that picnic carpet outside? By yourself? That's not allowed.
So, how does one describe Greenie Fathom? Like, I'm not even joking, I genuinely do not know how to describe the show. Whereas Dave Madsen videos have so much confusing shit going on too, but you can at least tell there is some sort of structure to his videos. Greenie Fathom is literally a zero-budget fever dream. It has characters doing things, there are logos done as expected because, well, You remember what video you're watching, right? Honestly, I don't think Robert could even decide who made the show. I mean, every episode credits Sony Wonder both at the beginning and end, but whereas every opening credits the Children's Television Workshop and Cinar, almost every episode has different logos entirely at the end. I'd like to imagine every studio in Hollywood imaginable past and present came together and just said, fuck it, let's use MS Paint Speak Only and call it a show. We need another excuse to not pay anybody but ourselves. Anyway, they also utilized clips and sounds from various other media, mostly Bananas and Pajamas for some reason. And I don't mean like in the way Creed 3 references Dragon Ball in its fight scene. I mean like the parts in Family Guy where they play an entire Conway Twitty performance. Yeah, that kind of creative laziness. I swear to God, there's episodes that are just random clips with no commentary over them whatsoever, and Jesus, Timon, what did they do to you? There's also these spin-offs of other characters that appeared in the show, but I don't feel like delving into them either. I mean, I knew Disney was treating Pixar poorly, but I didn't think they were gonna erase their entire budget. In 2012, an entire Green Found movie was made because, boy, everyone totally wanted to watch nearly 100 minutes of random scenes shuffled around, and it really is, well, a trip. It felt like I was progressively losing more and more brain cells as I kept watching it, but I could not look away. Oh my god, it's capitalism. Someone literally redid, aka plagiarized, the entire movie in Go Anime, more on that site later, and for some reason it's been getting more attention than the original, which honestly baffles me. Maybe it's because Go Anime is more recognizable than Green Phantom, but an original work doesn't deserve to be overshadowed by someone who stole it. I'm looking right at you, Blair. Also, it's never explained what a Greeny Phantom is, but it sounds like Danny Phantom's drugged out cousin. So, there is one more detail I'd like to mention about this community that I decided was best saved for last. As you might have guessed, Logo Kids are not that recognized across the internet. Compared to other well-known fandoms, they're pretty small. However, that doesn't mean they won't find ways to secretly scour themselves across the web. Yes, Logo Kids can evolve from just a small community into a f***ing plague. Okay, again, it's not that serious. While it's nothing new to be a multi-fandom kind of person, it's very fascinating to think about how anybody in either of these fandoms has a 50-50 chance of being a Logo Kid. And these fandoms include Go Anime. Pretty sure you know it from all the Grounded videos. And what if I told you there's a video about Caillou being grounded for giving the 20th Century Fox, Turner, and Cuba logos a punishment day, and a video about the THX logo ungrounding Dark Disney and Dark 20th Century Fox, which results in THX being grounded for 10 weeks by every logo ever. You'd think I had gotten just the right amount of high for me to make that up, but I'm not. They're real videos.
20th Century Fox, Turner, and Cubo, I can't believe you said it was a nice day. That's it. You will now receive a punishment day with 10 punishments. First punishment, sending you to the basement with Petey the Teeth Cat.
Ha 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 ha. Dark Disney and Dark 20th Century Fox. You're now ungrounded.
How dare you unground THX? You know that logo is so scary, and you should be grounded longer.
That's it, THX. You are grounded, 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 grounded,
I find it kind of funny that this went from being a tool meant to cater towards businesses and schools to being 95% used by children who have way too much free time on their daddy's laptop. While the platform is very limited, it's become a creative haven for a lot of young and or artistic YouTubers to make whatever pops in their head, like anything.
We are not here to bail you out. We cannot believe that you destroyed Pianochi's house.
That's it. You are grounded.
Mechi, why do you got a voice like that? Why are you grounding him? He's already in fucking prison! Object shows. I mean, part of the reason is because of the cute character design thing I brought up earlier, but a leading factor is that people can pretty much make an OC out of any object, and it would blend right into the object show universe no problem. You want to give the Viacom via Doom a personality? The most fitting would be crushing the dreams of thousands of creators just for showing a 1-second clip of Spinge cringe. Nothing else really to add to this other than Logo Kids really love object shows. And I guess where I'm at, shout out to the later seasons of BFDI for being genuinely hilarious.
Marker, you know I'm not too sure about this, but I think maybe there's just a chance then you're an idiot.
And finally, YouTube poop and YouTube poop music videos. Basically where all the logo ads come from. Yeah, even the zero effort ones, and hey, blasting your eardrums will make a great video. It's also a very common fad to do these veg replace shirt scans on any goddamn video imaginable. And I mean that because these things are uploaded every minute, and I really hope the original maker of the veg is okay after seeing what their creation has become. There's still multiple YTPMVs of characters crying, possible fetish aside. If my 2024 movie recap somehow gets popular and the brief part of me crying is the reason why, then you'll probably want to turn to the news at 5, you might see me there. A YTPMV trend that I'm surprised is still going are Sparo remixes. You know, based on that one very weird and terrible 300 movie directed by okay, I should probably get on with it because I don't want to get sent death threats by Chuds today. A lot of people have gotten very creative with Spartas, even if the community nowadays is a hot mess. I know because one of my close friends got outed as a sack of shit. But with many logo kids, they don't even try to do something unique, and it feels like the exact thing in 2007. Though when they do try to go for a modern Sparta style, well...
Oh my god! Music made me go dark!
It's painful to listen to, and I feel like I should address some of the controversies these logo kids got into within the Sparta remix community, simply for the choice of sources. One user allegedly used the video where a wedding hall floor collapsed, and I won't be as harsh on them for that because the incident happened in 2001, which may or may not have been before they were born, but still, what the hell. And then there were some users that sampled the 2020 Barrett Lebanon explosions. Yeah, I'm not even gonna attempt to make any further comment on that. Though I do know the first user to do it soon after the tragedy got their ass beat in the comments, so they later deleted it and made a non-apology video saying, "Guys, it's not entirely my fault. Someone requested me to do it and now I hate them for it. Forget that I could have chosen to ignore their request and knew entirely what I was doing with the video. I deleted it now so I can stop having people get mad at me." God, this actually makes me so angry. So, yeah, I think I've said what I wanted to say. I've been wanting to do a video like this for years, though I had to rewrite the script so many times because this topic has been a very complicated one. I probably missed a few details, but I honestly don't know how much more I can take. I didn't make this video just because I wanted to punch down on some random nobody group of users on the internet. I mean, I should leave that to the professionals. But it's because I grew up with a lot of this shit, and I can somewhat still feel their influence on me to this day. Okay, the cute character thing was likely because I watched the Powerpuff Girls a lot. Logo kids are an interesting species, but at the same time, they can be fun to watch, just for how bizarre they are. And I wouldn't mind if they keep doing what they're doing as long as they keep their cute character crying fetish in check and don't use actual tragedies for their meme posts. Leave it to us Americans to laugh at September. At the end of the day, I got no hard feelings, and I'm sure the community will continue to enjoy themselves in the little bubble they're in. You know, I'm curious, how many people actually watch this kind of stuff?